For many biotech companies, success depends on a single drug candidate. But what if you could build a business that generates commercial opportunities while your therapies are still advancing through the clinic? Today, we're looking at how NurExone is expanding beyond drug development by building a commercial exosome platform alongside its therapeutic pipeline. I'm joined once again by Dr. Lior Shaltiel, CEO of NurExone Biologic. Lior, welcome back to the watchlist.
Hey, Ricky, good to be here again.
It's always a pleasure. So tell us, Lior, NurExone is building a broader commercial strategy around naive exosomes, including a US operation, a biomanufacturing pathway, and a first commercial distribution foothold in Mexico. So how do these pieces all fit together, and what do they mean for the company's growth strategy beyond your lead therapeutic program?
Sure. So, as you know, NurExone is developing exosome-based therapy. Our lead component called ExoPTEN. This is for traumatic CNS, central nervous system injuries like spinal cord injury, traumatic brain injury, optic nerve, etc. As part of the name, the drug consists of exosomes and also siRNA. So the first part is where and how to produce exosomes. And NurExone has a privilege to have a master cell bank fully owned by NurExone and actually the subsidiary company called Exo-Top in the US to produce our naive exosomes as a drug substance. And these naive exosomes have a huge potential for further indications, especially in the new legislation in the US and globally, to use them as a treatment. And part of our expansion, we are going to produce in the US our naive exosomes. That's our plan. And also to use distributors to work with our exosomes worldwide. One of the first distribution agreement was just signed as a binding MOU with a Mexican-US company to distribute exclusively the naive exosomes of NurExone for different indication, not necessarily the clinical indication. And this is even before we produce our first vial. So you can understand the large demand for a good source of exosomes. And in our case, this is fully GMP, like it should be in a pharmaceutical company.
And this seems like an increasingly important strategy in biotechnology, where companies are looking to build diversified platforms rather than relying on a single clinical asset. So can you explain the difference between ExoTop's commercial exosome business and NurExone's therapeutic drug development pipeline, and how the two complement one another?
They completely complement. As I explained, our drug product consists of siRNA and the exosomes. So the component of the exosomes, our drug substance, the first drug substance, can be commercialized for other source. So by producing our own demands for clinical development, toxicity study, and IND enabling study, and in parallel commercials the over supply of our production, and we can produce in trillions of exosomes per vial, trillions of material. This can bring a revenue stream to the company while we are developing our IND and submit it to the FDA as part of proper IND for clinical indications like spinal cord injury or optic nerve damage.
So this appears to be a company pursuing a dual-track strategy, advancing novel therapeutics while simultaneously building a commercial platform that could create additional long-term value. Thank you so much for your time today, Lior.
Thank you so much, Ricky.
Once again, that is Dr. Lior Shaltiel, CEO of NurExone Biologic. For more information on the company and its exosome platform, visit nurexone.com. That's all for this episode of The Watch List. I'm Ricky Lee. Make good choices today.